Very good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Sunday, the 1st of March, 2026. Starting, as always, with the synoptic. In the aftermath of a good day had by all yesterday, some very pleasant flying and quite soarable for much of the day, actually. Back to what has become the norm. Low pressures driving away this ridge of high pressure, sort of suppressing it. And by midday today, you can see this low out to the west here in the Atlantic is the prime feature, coupled with this one slightly more to the southeast. And with that, we're seeing a fair bit of frontal activity, tight isobars, so moderately strong winds. This occlusion here passing sort of early night, overnight and into the early morning, with this warm front following close behind. That bringing with it some most likely low clouds, some rain, gusty winds as discussed previously. So not particularly pleasant outlook for today. Into tomorrow, though, there is a bit more of a reprieve while this cold front approaches. So there is something to be had tomorrow. This cold front may arrive at some point, but we can also see this gradient line here indicating a fair bit of temperature difference there as well. Into the week, a little bit more high pressure starting to work its way in behind these fronts. Quite a nasty low up just north of Iceland there, but that should be getting held off and driven to the north. And then we should return to high pressure for something in the middle part of next week with some frontal activity again on the horizon, but certainly an improvement on what we have been seeing. SATPIC for today. More or less solid cloud in the south of the UK, as you can see here. Not many gaps, a little bit thinner out to the northeast, pardon, northwest. And you see this big band of rain here on the radar passing its way through. And we've seen some of that already, and we're going to continue to see this patch down here within the next hour or so. Looking at the predicted rainfall on the Met Office, just running that through. You can see rain for much of the morning and into the early afternoon with some gaps, but expecting that to continue with fairly heavy showers as the afternoon progresses. Observation at Odium this morning, southwesterly 12 knots, overcast at 900 feet with a 1 degree temperature split. Temperature and dew point split, I should say. Farnborough, on the other hand, they have a TAF in this morning. They're showing 190 degrees, 10 knots, 10 kilometers of visibility scattered at 3,000 feet. Between 7 and 1, they're expecting 6,000 meter viz with drizzle, broken cloud at 800 feet, and a prop 30 between 1 and 3 of 7,000 meters with light showers. So again, low cloud throughout much of the usable day there with passing showers, albeit fairly light at times. Slight deviation from the spot winds, looking at the 215 chart today, just slightly zoomed in version of the synoptic. We can see here the fairly quickly moving front there of the occlusion moving forwards. That's what's gone through overnight and what we're still seeing the remnants of, excuse me, fully closed behind by this warm front. It's going to continue that run of poor weather as was depicted by the TAFs there. Wind fairly brisk, sort of southwesterly, beginning a little bit more to the south, coming around more westerly throughout the day. We can see that here on the Met Office local prediction, starting off southwesterly, southerly, becoming southwesterly into the afternoon, around 12 to 13 knots, gusting 23, and that's increasing throughout the day. Temperature in the warmest part of the day around 9 or 10 degrees, according to the GFS, with a dew point of 9. So again, not a significant split there. We're presently at 8.6 degrees centigrade with a dew point of 6.8. And that was the view on the south side looking west. It's a fairly blustery wind there, low cloud, just very grey and miserable. We'll refresh that there. A little bit wetter now as well, with some even lower cloud. Cross section here from sky sight sort of sums up fairly clearly there. Small reprieve in the rainfall for maybe about an hour between 12 and 1 or 1:30. But in doing so, we don't see the cloud base rise much above 700 or 800 feet, followed by more rain afterwards. So the best part of the day where there might be a little bit of convection between about 1:30 and 4:30. Beg your pardon, 3:30. No times, nothing of great significance, especially with that forecast just given. So we'll look at glide bookings. Should we fly? There's two K21s booked flying, one on the casual list and a K13 for trial lessons, but those won't be going ahead. Simulator is, of course, available as normal, so we do make use of that if you're around. And a reminder, being first Sunday of the month is normally the Gliding Heritage Centre Flying Day. They're not going to be flying today, of course, but I have been asked to encourage anyone who's around and wants to get involved, please go over to the GHC workshop, get stuck in. They're more than happy to give you a pair of overalls and get you involved. Nothing to report this morning for movements. And in summary, we have low pressure dominating once more, leading to a series of fronts throughout the day. That's coming in the form of an occlusion that's passed overnight and into the early morning, followed by a warm front bringing low cloud and rain. A gusty south-southwesterly wind becoming southwesterly as the day progresses. So if we do fly, we'll operate on runway 23, launching off the tarmac. And cables would be on the east side. That's the prospective airfield setup, winching off the east side, airtailing off the west. If we were to fly, make sure we land sufficiently into the airfield with to avoid the trees and the curl over. And that's more or less all from me this morning. We'll see how the day progresses. If we do manage any flying, that would be good. If we do, we'll have fun and keep it safe. Thank you.